Hey, hey, hey!
Hello.
How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys for coming. We see Cruise Nut, Mike's in the house, and Scott! Controversial Cruising. Man, I can't wait to hear about your Hawaii. That must have been amazing.
Oh, I want to go there. That's on my list to go.
Right? 14 days. Awesome. Well, as you guys can tell, we are having our first PKAT Chat live weeknights. So this is our new thing that we're going to do. I mean, if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you know that we have done our long form videos, usually Fridays, and then we started becoming part of the spotlight with Cheery. So we're kind of back and forth between Fridays and Saturdays, depending on the length of our video and if we're here or not here. But we thought the next step would be to now dabble a little bit more on a regular basis into a live show. So 6:30s Wednesdays, Eastern time, the time that is right, is when we will be doing our live shows. So yay.
Yay. Yeah, we're going to start out small, baby steps. We're going to do about 30 minutes tonight. So hopefully we don't bore you too much. I think we're going to pick up and talk about, finish out Alaska. Because still the season. The season in Alaska is actually, coming to a close pretty soon. So the traffic up there in cruising is increased as far as I could tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's late in the season up there. I think they finish up probably the end of October.
Yeah, there's only a couple of more left, and who knows, how many cruises are going to be going in Alaska. Because if you guys haven't been watching, then the update is that there are certain points, not all of them, but certain parts of Alaska that they are contemplating limiting the amount of guests that are going to be allowed to come. So, that might end up changing, the availability of cruises, at least in certain points. So, but if you guys notice as well, it's Mel and I flying solo. So Christine and CJ send their regards, but they ended up coming down with the cold this week. And so,
they called in sick.
Cheryl knows that. She's got PTOs and she can check with the board. But yeah, so they're both under the weather. So hopefully next week it'll be all four of us chatting. But yeah, Wednesdays 6:30, and this is going to be the new gig. At least 30 minutes. If things start to grow, then we start to grow. But I know, Scott, thank you again for popping in. I know you have your first live coming up at 7 o'clock. The first time you've been back from Hawaii. So that'll be exciting to start hearing what you and Warmstrong Adventures are going to be chatting about tonight. So, all right, so let's pick up Alaska.
Well, I wanted to let everybody know we're doing a poll right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm curious of people's first request excursions. And I had to think about this question because whale watching was my first answer. But since I've already done that and checked that box, I actually wanted to see, probably going to do a land base where you can see more animals inland. So like the eagles and the bears and everything. That's what I want to see now. So we have to go back.
Yeah. And we have to put this in. Thank you, Scott. You get one of these because I'm cool. Like, wait, let's see if we can get it going. There we go.
There you go.
We're cool like that. Thank you. We love you too.
So make sure you check your box and see which one you want to pick for your excursion. But
yeah.
Favorite excursions. I mean, we can roll into that. Our favorite excursion on this past Alaska. Mine was the whale watching.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I would say whale watching for us edged out the Skagway. Although Skagway, man, we took the White Pass Railroad and we did the Yukon suspension bridge. So I think that had we seen wildlife aplenty there, that probably would have beat out the whale watching. But the scenery in Skagway was just amazing.
Yeah, that was basically a once in a lifetime kind of excursion. I mean, it's not a cheap excursion by any means, but
No.
it was a great excursion.
Yeah. We scored it for, we did it early, almost a year in advance, as soon as the excursions opened, and we got it for what, $250 a person? So it was 500.
railway, yeah.
For the railway in Yukon, it was $250 a person. My parents delayed in getting it, and it sold out. And then there were a few cancellations nearer to the cruise, but supply and demand, it went from $250 a person to $500 a person.
It's definitely a very popular cruise. Or excursion. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm getting sidetracked. I'm looking.
She's
I'm
playing
looking, I'm looking
stickers.
at my stickers. I found my stickers that have all the national parks, and I started adding them to my cup. So I think I should put them down.
Yeah, we're in a show.
I know. I'm sorry.
You know how Eddie does Sneak Attack and Cheryl does Temu and Amazon purchases, surreptitiously during live shows. Yeah, Mel's going through her stickers
look
and
at
her cup.
Look at all these stickers in this here.
Yeah,
I collect stickers every time I go to ports, so I have tons of stickers and tons of magnets. I collect magnets as well. They're cheap and small to bring back.
Yep. Okay. Magnets we're kind of out of room for. That's why we moved to stickers. But now we're out of room for stickers. But anyway, back to what we were talking about, our favorite excursion. So yeah, the only thing we missed with whale watching was an actual breach. And funny enough, we had friends from high school who were up there the week after we were. And two things were very, very noticeable. Number one, the delayed spring hit like with a vengeance. All the snow was gone. Wildlife was all out. So they saw a lot of land-based wildlife.
I don't miss it though. I actually really enjoy seeing the snow.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Because we don't see snow. I haven't seen snow in 20 years.
So, but they saw that and they caught a breach from what we understand now that we are whale watching connoisseurs. It's the juveniles who are the ones that do the breaching because it takes like thousands upon thousands of calories and the adults just don't want to waste that.
Yeah, they're lazy.
So, I mean,
they're lazy.
Yeah, look here. Of course we're lazy. But yeah, so that was still cool. And I know, Scott, I would have to agree with your assessment on whale watching because I know in some prior ones when you were talking about your trip to Alaska, you were like, don't waste your time going on whale watching tours because you can see it right from the ship. And that is, honestly, 100% accurate because we did the whale watching tour because Christine, her uncle, had a relationship with the whale watching company. So we got it for a very, very low cost overall. And we had a group of 12 there. So that's why we did that excursion. It took us to whale watching as well as the glaciers. But on our bust day, I call it the bust day because we were supposed to go see the glacier in, what was it? I can't
whatever forge.
Dewar's. I don't know. Dewar's is a fake beer. That's not or a scotch.
It starts with an E.
Yeah. Ednock.
Yeah, it's
Arm,
it's a weird,
and then Dawson's Glacier. That's what it was. But the fog was so thick you couldn't see anything, and there was a report of actual ice flows there, and so the captain made the smart decision to turn the ship around. And of course, right after he did that, about 20 minutes after we started steaming out, all of the fog started to burn off. But by that point, we were already underway heading out.
But we saw a lot of whales that day. We actually saw more whales that day from the ship than our last excursion in British Columbia.
Oh, yeah. I'll let you talk about that once we get there.
So
but before we go too far, welcome, Najuma. Thank you for coming in. So on that day, like Mel said, that's where she got a lot of the pictures. So if you watch that episode of the Glacier Day Bust, you'll see a lot of still shots that were in there. And that was Mel getting it with her camera just right from the ship.
I actually got a picture of a seal and didn't know it until I just saw something floating in the water. So I took a picture of it just to see what it was. And then I blew it up and it was a seal. I was like, wow, I caught that from my big, long lens.
Yep, the 600 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
She really put it to the test there. So a lot of those close-ups that you see of land, we were well away from land.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's
yes.
got a good zoom, especially the picture of the Dawson Glacier because it was way back.
Yes.
We were easily a mile or so from it, and you zoomed in enough.
Yeah,
to
I had
really
my
look like we were close.
monopod, so I could keep it still and everything. And but yeah, that's me. I'm the picture taker because I love taking pictures. I one time took 3,000 pictures in 1 week when we went to Disney World with our daughter, and we got the whole princess experience and everything. And so I took so many pictures, I actually crashed the SD card.
Yes, so much so that I ended up having to buy a program to try to save the pictures. That was back when the digital cameras were still fairly new and you couldn't handle the higher gigabytes. And yeah, it got to the point where we thought we lost 3/4 of the pictures and were able to actually rescue them. So
yeah. So hello, Eddie. Welcome.
Oh, yo, Eddie's in the house. We also have Mom's travel team. Thank you for coming in and cruising scene. Hey guys, welcome so much. But yeah, you could imagine that was our first. I know we're supposed to be talking about Alaska, but we're talking pictured squirrel moment. But yeah, that was our first big trip with Desi being old enough to truly appreciate it. And yeah, she did the Bibbidi Boppity Boutique and fairy dust and the whole 9 yards, only to think that we had lost the pictures, and I was so distraught. But luckily, we were able to save. I was able to recover
3/4 of it.
Yeah, 3/4, if not more.
See, that's why you need to take 3,000 pictures.
I know, right? Hey, old lady Luxon. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. And we have to give our our heart there for
Ryan's
our
teaching
members.
Me. Ryan's teaching.
Gotta do it like a heart.
I'm trying. Come on.
But we love seeing Green show up. So we have Old Lady Luck, and Old Lady Luck was our very first member to join the channel when we hit our 500 subscribers. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for to joining our channel and helping us out.
So we talked about favorite excursions. I want to talk about bad excursions or
excursions that left more to be desired later. Didn't really turn out. And let's preface that with, we know you cannot control wildlife.
I know.
We know that. But
I was very disappointed with the British Columbia. First of all, our excursion got pushed to almost the end of the day. And the only reason we kept it is because it was Royal Caribbean and we were guaranteed to get back on the ship. We got back to the ship like with 5 minutes to spare. 8 minutes to spare.
8 minutes to spare.
So we weren't worried about that too much, but it was a good thing that Ryan and I walked to the town from the port because at least we got to see something with the British Columbia. So we basically walked to the Fisherman Wharf, which is about a 10-minute walk from the port, which was a very easy walk. It was right on the sidewalk. It was, I mean, the weather was beautiful, so we just did it. So we did that, and we went down there and checked out everything, but everything was still kind of closed. It was kind of early. I think they had not open until like a couple hours or maybe an hour later or something.
Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock that it opened.
Yeah, because they have a restaurant and they had some stores and stuff. But we ended up going there first, and it was cute. They had houseboats and everything. We got to see some of the traffic from the what is that, a river?
Yeah, the river. So we could see what do they call those planes?
The seaplanes.
The seaplanes go and
the car ferries.
The car ferries and things like that.
So it was good to go, like, I guess, boat watch, not people watch, but boat watch. And once we were done there, we still had enough time because our excursion group didn't meet until 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we ended up going down to the actual downtown, which was another 20-minute walk. And again, it was an easy walk. It was a sidewalk. There was flowers everywhere, and there was beautiful scenery and everything. So we were walking along the water, and we got into town, and we got to walk a little bit more, but we weren't able to stay there too long because we obviously had to get back to the ship before our excursion left. So we stayed over there. We got coffee. We walked some of the shops, took some photos, and then we walked back. There's about a 30-minute walk back, which was very easy. And this port is not, it's different than a lot of ports. It's not a man-made port. It's actually a working industrial port. So there's not like rows and rows of shops you walk through to get into the destination area. You have one building, you go in and out, and that's it. And there's one, I think there was one little store there.
Yeah, just basically the welcome store at the cruise port.
Right.
So you have to walk or take local transportation to do anything.
And there's no
from
Uber.
there.
We actually, that was the first thing we did, we tried to get an Uber. There's no Uber. I believe Ryan said that they probably locked it down.
I believe so, because everything was, what was it, $15?
There was a water taxi that you could take, a regular taxi. I think there was a bus system, and I think they were about the same price. I think they want to say $25, $15, something like that.
It was like, I think it was 15 one way. Yeah.
But again, it's easy walk. But if you don't want to walk it, it's like, I guess you could pay the $15.
Yeah.
One way.
Well, before we go too far, we've had a few other people sneak in. So it's Cruise Life. Welcome. Thank you for showing us here. And then Henry Lyle, Vermont. Thank you so much again for popping in. And then we do have some celebration here. So we're going to do some confetti. Oh, wait, I'm going to be on the right side. There we go.
Sorry.
So Old Lady Luck and her man, 50 years.
Wow.
50 years. You know, that deserves a lot here. So
okay. What are we doing now?
We're doing lasers now.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. A lot of people don't make it there.
Nope. And I've seen that you've been on a hot streak as well with your slots there, Old Lady. Like, I can't wait to see how much more you rake in. That was awesome.
Yeah. What are you guys doing to celebrate it? I mean, you're going on a cruise.
Up, and we got Cruising with Calandra that made it in. So welcome. Yeah, and we definitely want everyone to connect as well. So you can put in that hashtag PKAT in the chat and go ahead and share your links and support everybody there. So we definitely appreciate it.
Yep, we're all about sharing and caring.
Yep. But yeah, I think British Columbia, the morning part when we actually walked through the town and everything,
it was good.
It was good. I liked it. A lot of stuff.
We didn't spend any money. We were pretty much broke at the end of the
we had our Tim Hortons, but
we went Tim Hortons,
but we messed up because we had to put hazelnut in, and it just didn't taste good.
But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Yeah. Everything is fine. See,
we made up for it because they actually had the Canadian maple glazed donuts, so we had that in addition to the hazelnut coffee. We like our toasted almond. And we got the wrong mixture, but that's okay. It's all good.
It's good. But anyway, to the bad excursion part, I mean...
Wait. Before we go on...
Okay.
Old Lady Luck's going to be going on a cruise, but her husband broke his hip. Oh, no. I know that is not...
you shouldn't be doing those type of activities, after all these years.
What are you talking about? That's where you have the most fun.
Well, congratulations. I hope you find something fun to do, and hopefully you get to go on your cruise. I mean, I'd go even if I had a broken hip.
Yep.
I'd rent a scooter.
Yep. Oh, and yeah, I do want to put this up here because if you guys have not seen Cruising with Calandra's drone footage, I'm always envious because I tell Mel, I'm like, how is she getting away with this? Because everywhere I go in Florida, there's a drone ban for us to be able to get stuff going out of Port Canaveral or, Tampa. I was hoping I could get it at the Sunshine Skyway, but no, that little jetty is considered a state park. So there's a ban on flying drones there. So I am so jelly and I love your videos, Calandra. So I'm always
told me like 3 times at least this week.
So,
but yeah, we get some of our inspiration and ideas from you guys. So we love watching you guys' videos.
Yeah.
That's where he was getting the comments about the drone, obviously. But yeah.
Awesome. So they're going to be Old Lady Luck and Old Man Money are going to be heading to Reno. Or they just got back from Reno because that's where you got married. That is really cool.
That's
very cool.
That's very cool. Yep. Ryan and I are halfway there.
So, yep, we are. This year was our 25th.
Yeah.
It was. Alaska was kind of our 25th.
Last was kind of our
anniversary.
25th anniversary.
So
like a month early, but it worked out nice.
All right. So yeah. So let's talk about that catastrophe of a excursion. We did a second whale watching with my parents because we wanted to make sure we saw whales. So we had the Juno that we did through the private, and then Mel and I decided to spend time with my parents when CJ and Christine went off another way for an orca whale watching, just in case we didn't see anything in June.
Well, the funny thing is, the first whale watching excursion that we did was specialized in the humpback whales, and all we saw on that excursion was orca whales.
Couple,
but we saw a lot of orca, and they said that was very unusual for that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when we went on this other excursion in British Columbia, we saw. Well, let me back up. We were on the boat. It was a 3-hour tour, right? 3-hour tour.
It ended up being a 4-hour tour because of what we had to do.
Okay, so
which is why we got back 8 minutes before the boat left.
So basically, it was a boat tour that was supposed to be 3, and we get in the boat, and you know how the pilots kind of talk to each other, or the captains, not the pilots, but the captains, and say, "Hey, I spotted whales here. I spotted whales here." So they had spotted a pod an hour and a half out. So it was an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back. That would have been our 3 hours. And so we literally had 5, maybe less than 10 minutes.
It was less than 10.
It was less than 10 minutes. And it was kind of frustrating because we went all the way out there. And I know you can't control the wildlife. But we got all the way out there for 10 minutes and then came all the way back. So it was like, it was very disappointing for me. And I was not a happy camper.
I think that was $250 total. I think, right? About $125 a person.
Yeah. So it was a very expensive boat ride where at least I got to see an eagle on my whale tour.
Yep.
And got to catch that mid-flight, which was actually pretty cool. That was the only thing that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it was just, I don't know, we were very disappointed. I kind of wish we had done something differently. But again, we were there just spending time with your parents, and that's the reason we decided to go with them.
Yeah. So I, went up on deck every now and then just to eyeball it. Other than that, we just hung out in the cabin. They had, hot chocolate or hot tea or something like that. But it was definitely disappointing. The 90-minute ride each way for 10 minutes of the orcas, and then we had to get back, to get back on the ship. So
right.
It is what it is. But thank you for coming. Calandra probably already left, but thank you for coming and supporting us tonight.
So, I want to hear from somebody else. Had they had really disappointing excursions? I know excursions can vary from the experience. I mean, that probably was a good excursion for another person the next week, and it was completely different. You can't control the wildlife, so it's just I didn't like the fact that we had to go so far out, had such little time there, and come back.
Yeah. Now, if it was your first time and you didn't really know what to expect, then you could think, okay, maybe this is the standard. You only get a few moments, but being there in Juneau and seeing the humpback before we even made it out of port.
That was
a huge pod. It kind of spoiled us. The huge pod of orca that just tracked us in, and we didn't see any breaches, but like I said, it was still overall a good experience.
But I mean, like we said, we had a good time in the morning. We got to see some of the pretty greenery. We got to see downtown, walked around a little bit, came back to the ship. We spent little to no money there, and then took the excursion in the afternoon, and then basically got to the ship 8 minutes before it was supposed to leave. So,
yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to close down the poll. So hopefully everyone's had a chance to vote because we are getting close here, and we want to make sure that we can pop over and support Scott's poll here. So let's see how we ended. All right, so it looks like whale watching did win. We have 53% of the votes did say the top choice would be whale watching, followed by the glacier tour, and then local culture tour, and then a land wildlife came in at the bottom. So yeah, it's definitely some cool things to look at. I guess what we'll talk about next week, I think, is just how things closed out in Alaska. Because we learned a lot as far as getting ready to fly back because we had a red eye flight.
Well, we spent literally the whole day at Seattle Airport.
I guess,
and
yeah,
and we could tell you how to make that experience a little bit more pleasant if you want. So I basically learned it from some YouTubers, and so we're here to teach each other.
Yep. So we'll go a little bit more into that next week. But one of the things I will tell you this week, just in case anyone is heading out to Alaska, I know there are a few people that are getting ready to go out in the next week or two. But if you are on a cruise and you're coming back to the airport and you do have a late flight, you are able to pre-check your luggage in. But you have to do it before, I believe it was 11 a.m. I know Alaska Airlines was one of them, and Delta was another, at least in the area where we were. But a lot of times you're not able to check your luggage until you're like 3 or 4 hours from actually leaving. And our flight didn't leave till 9:30, and we got there at 8 in the morning.
Right.
But we found it out just by talking to a gate agent, trying to figure out what to do. And they're like, oh, well, if you go down where the cruise transfer buses drop you off, if you are on a ship sponsored transfer, there is a drop off, and you just check your luggage right there, and they will hold it all day for you. So you can go through security if you want to hang out in the airports. And again, we'll talk more details later on some of the options there. But it's a good thing to do that. Even if you're not going to go into the airport, you can still drop your luggage and check it early, and then take a train or an Uber or something like that to go explore the city without having to haul your luggage around. So that was a very cool perk. But you've got to do it by, I believe they said 11 a.m. was the cutoff. So you go right there. It's right where the buses drop you off if you're taking the official cruise transfer in the blue terminal, I believe.
Yeah, and just special note, that whole airport is torn up right now. There's so much construction going on. It is so confusing right now.
Yep. But I know it'll look good when it's done. But right now they're definitely going through
But give yourself extra time to figure it out. Trust me.
Right.
You'll see. Trust me.
Yep. Awesome. Well, we are almost here at 7, so we're going to go ahead and call this a night for our very first official PKAT chat in the evenings. So like I said, you guys can join us here 6:30 Eastern time each Wednesday. And we will just chat about some of our experiences, answer some questions. We will definitely start getting more into camping as well. We have had our first 2 official episodes already roll out, and this coming week, a little sneak peek we have as part of our spotlight, the Mayaca State Park in Florida.
Ooh, yeah.
And this was before, 2 weeks before we got our camper. We just couldn't get it.
I want to go back there. That place is awesome.
But it's awesome. So make sure you catch that Saturday night. I believe we're going to be the 8 o'clock spot, but just keep an eye on our channel for the thumbnail. So again, thank you guys so much. Head on over to Controversial Cruising and show support there. Say you're coming from the PKAT Chat raid.
Yes. See you guys later. And remember, halfway through the week, so we can get to Friday.
That's right. It's a hump day chat.
It's hump day chat.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.